Hi guys, Binawad here. I want to welcome you all to the first episode of Rants and Ranks, where I will show you guys some of my ranked matches from PSN, and I'll do some commentary, some on the matches, but mostly on some random stuff that I have to say. None of it's really important, but I just thought it would be cool. So let's jump into this first match. Sometimes I like to go random just to see if I'm good enough to play all sorts of characters. Here I'm playing a con player. I have no idea how to fight a cons, and I have no idea how to use Evil Ryu. Obviously, by the inputs there, I'm trying to mash uppercut and EX. I don't know stuff. Anyway. I'll let this play on and you can watch as it goes. So, I just want to talk about how I first got into playing fighting games. It all started a long time ago. I was about 10 or 11, and my cousin first got a PlayStation, and he brought it over to my house, and we started playing some games. One of the first fighting games he ever got was Marvel vs. Capcom, and playing it on the old PlayStation 1, we developed a whole bunch of blisters on our thumbs trying to mash out different moves because we had no idea how to do them. We read the manual and we tried to do different things, but it was never really that great. Anyway, after that I never really played a whole bunch of games, but later on, especially during college, I started looking up gameplays of Street Fighter 4, and I got really into it and started looking at the different characters and did a lot of research on how to do their moves and different output mechanics and all that sort of thing. And I slowly got better, and I'm in no way good at the game. I'm obviously a scrub still, a masher at heart, and it's a little difficult to kick bad habits, but you know, it's not like I'm trying to play this game seriously, but it's just fun trying to get a little better. And if I go back to this gameplay, you can see that I'm getting mauled by this Akon. I have no idea what I'm doing. Trying to copy a few moves that I've seen online. Trying to do the standing forward kick into hurricane kick a couple times to no good. And I think I've discovered the jumping medium punch, which juggles, and if you can catch the person in the air, you can do it into ultra, but since I chose random, I didn't have a chance to pick ultra. It links into ultra 1, I think. Or whatever the word is. So anyway, let's see. So one of my first experiences playing Street Fighter 4 was at the end of my college career. I had known it come out, and I was a big fan of Street Fighter, but college was really weird, so I didn't have a lot of time to watch streams or whatever of it, because that was still fairly new at the time. Anyway, I was over at a friend's apartment, and he was about to leave to go to someone's frat house, I guess. And they, before they left, they had asked me if I wanted to come with them. I was like, oh, sure. I had nothing else to do, so I just went with them. And we walked over to their friend's frat house, and we walked up to the door, and when we first opened the door, the first thing I noticed was the smell. It smelled horrible. Imagine taking a piece of poop and then rubbing it on the outside of a toilet and then putting that into a trash can. That's what it sort of smelled like. Anyway, we came inside. I held my breath because I really liked these people and I wanted to hang out with them, but I never really had a chance to. So this was my first chance to really hang out with them. So I went inside and I went inside to one of their friends' rooms, and which had a huge TV in it, and they had the original vanilla Street Fighter 4. And I was like, oh, cool. I should try to play this. And we all took turns trying to do different the different trials for Zangief, I think it was, because that was the only one they couldn't figure out. And after a while, the frat guy had to leave. He had to pick up his girlfriend or whatever, and we stayed there and we continued to play. And he then told us that there was a dog in the house, and we were like, oh, okay, might as well bring him out. So he brought out the dog, and after he left, the dog just ran around us, barking, yipping, whatever. And then we pet it and stuff, but after a little while playing, we noticed that it went into the corner, and it was like, what is it doing? And then all of a sudden we started to smell this horrible smell, which smelled kind of like the house, and we saw it take a huge dump on the ground, and we held our noses and we locked up the dog and we ran out of the room. And we shut the door, and there was a little bit of us that had no idea what to do, and the other part of us knew what we had to do. But so we ran back in the room. We didn't run back in the room. We opened the door, and it smelled even worse. And we tried to think of something to do, and we ended up playing a couple more matches of Street Fighter before we realized that the smell was too bad for us to keep playing. So we finally cleaned up the dog crap, and we cleaned up the rest of the room where the dog had been. And after that, we kind of held our noses, and we finished playing our game. And that, I don't know, if that doesn't prove my love of Street Fighter, I don't know what will. Yeah. So, here's another match of me. I use T-Hawk. You can see that I have I don't know, a decent amount of BP with him. That's no result of skill or anything. That's just a lot of mashing on my part. I like grapplers because like Zangief and Hakan and T-Hawk, mostly because their moves don't require a lot of skill or precision. You just have to make circles with your stick or joystick or pad, whatever, and they press punch and they come out. And they also have moves where you can, if you press all three punches or all three kicks at a certain time, they'll do a special move like Lariat or Condor Dive. So as a beginner, I really like that. And after a while of using T-Hawk, I started to grow to like him a little more because he was a lot easier to move around with than Zangief. And I don't know, his moves seem super violent compared to Zangief's. Like, Zangief is a wrestler by heart, but like T-Hawk is like a grappler. He'll grab your face. And this has to be my favorite Ultra in the entire game. Look at him. It's pure violence on his part. And it reminds me a little of Hulk from the Avengers when he was beating up Loki. If you guys haven't seen that, spoiler alert. Well, it's a little too late for that. And yeah. Here's another video of another grappler. Again, I have no idea how to use Zangief properly, but I like using him just because of Ultra 2. I watch a lot of Aqua Silk. Shoutouts to Aqua Silk. He's so funny. And he uses Ultra 2, so I decided one day to just mess around with Zangief for the day, trying to land Ultra 2s on people. Mostly to no avail, because I don't know. It gets pretty obvious when you try to do it. You're constantly jumping when you haven't jumped before, and you're jumping. When I jump, it usually goes forward, but when I'm trying to do Ultra 2, I usually go I jump backwards just because of how I'm churning the stick. So it never really works out in my favor. I never catch them in my Ultra 2. But I keep trying, and I got a few wins with Zangief. None of them by which I caught them with Ultras. Another thing I don't know, I don't particularly like about this game is like taunts. I understand in like Third Strike and stuff how taunts actually do something some of the time, like Ken's taunt gives him extra power, and then Q's taunt gives him extra defense, and in this situation Dudley's taunt does a wow, did you see that? So I was mashing that, and I was pretty sure he was going to do Thunderbolt, so I just prayed and I did it. Anyway, sorry, I have like ADD. Dudley does it. His Rose taunt, I guess you can use it as a mix-up to like make the other person block high, and then you can go low, or you can just come in for chip or something while they're in block stun. What was I talking about? I have no idea. Yeah, so I don't like taunts. It's kind of a dick thing to do. Sorry for my language, but it's true. It doesn't matter if you're playing like a good person or a really bad person or like complete beginner. I don't see a need to taunt somebody to make them feel bad. We're always trying to grow the community, the fighting game community. I don't know, the game community in general. People don't take us seriously because of like things like that. Like even if you play like Halo or something, they'll kill you, run up to you, and then teabag you just because they want to, just because they think it's cool. It's like, hey, look what I can do to this guy. I shot him in the face. Now I can hump his face. See, throwing out random ultra just in case, and then mashing lariat. Yeah, so I don't really like taunts, and whenever people taunt me, it always makes me feel a little bad about myself, because I'm not playing to the caliber that I should be able to play. Ooh, look, T-Hawk mirror. Again, ADD, sorry, I can't help myself. So, I like using T-Hawk, I like using Cody, Zangief, Adon, other characters. Again, random, I have no idea. So in this match, the first things first, I'd like to point out that I think the player 1's costume should have been the default for T-Hawk. I mean, it looks better than the like a blue on blue denim thing that I have on. It's the one that the player 1 has, the costume that they have on is usually the one that I pick, but that one or the white one, white costume. But since they chose first, I got stuck with the original costume. So throughout most of my T-Hawk gameplay, I try to get Ultra 2, and then I try to use it. Like I try to get enough meter to use it, and I always pick Ultra 2 against other T-Hawks because I know that they're gonna Condor dive at one point, and I can catch them like I just did. Again, I love that Ultra 2 because it's ultra violent. The way he just, like, he's like, got you, and then he grabs you out of the air and then slams you down into the ground over and over again. It's like the funniest thing to me. Another strategy that I have with T-Hawk just randomly is to counter spire into, well, counter spire into a grab, because I think it's good to use like that. I don't think that they're like expecting it so much, and I've been trying to counter spire into Ultra 2 because if you don't hit them, they usually try to jump out of the way. If not, you can just hit them. Ultra 1. I know the reason why I liked using T-Hawk and other grapplers is their ultras do a crazy amount of damage, especially Hakan if you're oiled up. I don't know, all the grapplers, they all have really cool what do you call ultras and supers. Other characters, they have nice ultras, but not as good as the grapplers. What else? Yeah. So, there's a lot of risk in using grapplers. Obviously, there's a lot of I don't know, frames, I guess, between the different grabs, and that could leave you into really bad situations. But in other situations, you don't really have to learn that many combos, because most high damaging combos aren't really necessary with grapplers, in my opinion. But again, I am a scrub, and I'm not probably wrong. I am wrong, because you can obviously see that combos are a big part of Street Fighter and all that stuff. So just ignore me completely. And okay, so this is the last match, I think, of this little video. I'm playing Cody. I like using Cody because, unlike some of the other characters, he doesn't have the Shoryuken motion moves, and it's all half circle moves, and I found that really easy to do on a joystick, because I don't have to go forward and then fireball. I can just do fireball. And I also like him because he uses a knife. Again, he's super violent, and look at him, he's super lazy too, just like me. Plus he has really funny titles like Sad Sack and like Super Emo and all that sort of thing. And I don't know, he has really good normals and stuff, but it can be a little he can be a little execution heavy, and I'm still trying to learn how to do different things with him. But I really like using his knife. I don't know. No, maybe one of our next videos I'll tell you a little bit more why I picked him and the other characters a little more. Let's see. Stab, stab, stab. Did you see that? He punched the knife out of the air. I think after this little after our match, he messaged me and asked me if I saw that, and I was like, yeah, I did. And I said I was gonna post it online, so here I am. So I think that'll be it for this video. If you guys have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and all of our information will be in the description. Well, until next time, I'll see you around.